I'm gonna go live in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're live, so
Okay, so hello everyone, this is Slug. I'm Sukimos, and the commentator's name is Escrow. So
Hello.
he would be commentate most of my runs because this game really needs a lot of concentration, and I can't speak well with playing this game. So okay, so in 5 seconds I will start with countdown. So
yeah,
five,
just count me down.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, this is Metal Slug all old series run. So basically, all old series means that we'll be running 1, 2, X3, and 4 and 5. The reason why they're classified as old is because they all came out on the arcade versions, and also all the characters you pick, it doesn't really matter which one you pick because they don't have any major differences. There are going to be small differences that I'll talk about later, but for the most part, it's the same. They don't have any character perks. It's mostly just like a reskin. So yeah. So Metal Slug first came out in 1999 on the arcade versions, and it's a run and gun game. So the aim of the game is pretty simple. Like that, you just make sure you get to the end of the level where there's gonna be a boss, and you kill the boss. Um, each mission has a boss at the end. There's usually mid bosses, sometime in the middle, and then there are usually 5 or 6 missions per game. Okay, so well, that mission was too quick for me to explain anything, so I'll just go jump to the next part. Your main weapons for the game is your default primary weapon, which is going to be the pistol. It does 1 damage. Your secondary weapon is the knife. It does 3 damage. It's a melee attack. And your third one that you spawn with is bombs, and you get 10 of those. Bombs do 10 damage. And also, you get power guns, which are, like he's using right now, when he switches to rocket launcher, they make you shoot harder. There are 4 types of power guns in Metal Slug 1. It's the rocket launcher, flame shot, heavy machine gun, which is the most common, and shotgun, which is the strongest. In other games, shotgun isn't the strongest, but for Metal Slug 1 it is, and I'll explain that in a bit. But yeah, the whole point of the game is literally just amass as much shotgun as you can, and bombs, and just use it on the boss at the end. Metal Slug 1 is really straightforward in that kind of aspect. They give you a lot of bombs and a lot of ammo along the way, so you don't really need to worry about it. We're at the mid-boss of Mission 2 already. Oh boy. Here you need to wait until he starts moving, because during that time when he's moving he's invincible, so you just gotta wait and then kill him with the shotgun and the bombs. So people wonder why the game series is called Metal Slug. Well, that's the reason why it's on the screen. This slug is called the Metal Slug. The story behind of this series is that there's a guy called Donald Morden, and he was part of the military, and then he defected, and he made a rebel group, and the rebel group was getting a lot stronger and getting more support, and they eventually were starting to win against the normal military, the standard military. So the standard military decided to develop special weapons such as the Metal Slug, and this game is basically about you as a soldier trying to, capture Morden and put him into custody and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically it. That's the end of mission 2. Yeah. As you can see, it's literally just save bomb, save shotgun, just blow up on the boss. Okay, for mission 3, we're gonna be seeing Alan O'Neill, who is another staple character of the series, and I'll explain something called a knife cancel. So I mentioned that your knife is your secondary weapon. It's a melee attack and does 3 damage. But the problem with that is that it has a delay on the end of it. And you can cancel that delay. By the way, that was an intended death, so they could get there quickly and kill our bombs. So to cancel the delay, it differs for each game, like how to cancel things. Your knife, your gun, bombs, they can all be cancelled, but it really depends on the version or which game you're running for it to which method you use. And it so happens in Metal Slug 1, you do that by jumping. So you can see right there, jump, knife, land, knife, and you do it over and over again, and it really helps with the overall DPS. So this part is pretty straightforward. You just gotta blow your way through these tanks. Fun fact about those tanks, those yellow ones, if you blow them up using a grenade or a rocket launcher, they'll blow up instantly. But if you shoot at them or blow them up using other means, it takes a while for the enemy to pop up out of the hatch, and then you need to kill that guy before the entire tank can blow up. So now we got another Metal Slug. He's gonna use this for the boss. The reason for that is, as you can see right there, if you crouch and if you use bombs, it will use the bombs that you're carrying as a human. So you use grenades rather than cannons, which is what you use when you're the Slug. And the reason why that's a good thing is because in Metal Slug 1, you can only have, well, actually in all games, in all the Metal Slug series, you can only have 2 bombs on screen at once. So you can get around that by doing this right here, where you can crouch and then spam the bombs. So that's the end of Metal Slug Mission 3. You have anything to say? Alright.
Nothing to say.
Oh yeah, Mission 4. Mission 4 is pretty straightforward. Much more than the rest of the missions, because all you need to do is just jump throughout the mission. Oh, by the way, jumping actually is faster than just walking, so we're gonna be using that a lot, if you haven't noticed already. And you just need to collect as many bombs and shotguns and, you know, same old, just yeah, keep doing that. Also, you saw there how you can eject from the Metal Slug, and that's called slug crashing. If you press jump and shoot at the same time, then it sends the slug flying straight forward or on top of the enemy that you're next to, and it does a lot of damage. I mean, use that for damage. That was the boss of mission 4. Metal Slug 1 is a very, very quick game, and I'm barely being able to keep up with the commentary, but it will slow down later on. Okay, mission 5. This is pretty much the same as mission 4. You just need to jump throughout the level and just, collect bombs, collect shotguns, and just use on the boss at the end.
Actually, there is no shotgun in the stage, but
Oh yeah, bomb or shotgun or both. Actually, Metal Slug 1 is a lot more liberal with the the amount of ammo you get, including bombs. So that's another reason why it's so quick. The Sukimos actually is pretty much the world record holder for everything that is Metal Slug, at least the series that he cares about. And he has a time on this for about like 10 minutes 30 seconds, something like that.
10 minutes 32 seconds.
32 seconds. Yep. So it's basically it's a 10-minute game. It's pretty quick. For this boss here, you can see it going up. It has invincibility as it rises, so you have to just wait. There's a few things like that in this game. Just gotta wait. Know when to shoot, when not to. Alright, next is gonna be the final mission, mission 6. The final mission is usually the hardest mission in the game. Right here, he's going to kill the tank and the soldier, and then wait for these soldiers to group up and then kill them with one knife. That will progress the screen. If you kill them one at a time, then you'll be stuck in that screen until you have to kill a set amount of enemies. So little things like that can help you save a bit of time. So this guy is Morden, and the ship he's riding on is called Hydra. We'll be seeing him a lot. So I'll explain slug control here. So basically, when you're riding in a slug and you get out of it by pressing down and jump, when you're in the somersault phase, you're actually invulnerable. So you can use that to protect your slug, because they can only take 3 hits, except in Metal Slug 4 they can take 4 hits, but that I'll get to that later. And also you can prevent yourself from taking damage. So that's a really good and useful technique to use.
At that part,
Is
the helicopter was destroyed immediately, but actually that was because of the glitch. When you shoot the shotgun when it is on the same spot with the airplane, it is killed at once.
This section is basically just an auto scroll wall. There's a few of those in this game. So you got a shotgun and a lot of bombs. And here is the boss. It's gonna be... This guy can mess you up with RNG, give you several patterns, but hopefully it's okay. This one's not too bad, he doesn't move around too much, but you need to watch out for the little rockets. The RPG that he's carrying is probably the most dangerous. This pattern right now is one of the worst ones because it loses you a bit of time. But the one that you gotta be careful of in terms of getting killed is he can shoot a rocket out of the RPG that he's carrying. So that's about it. Yeah, it's not great luck, but it should be over soon. And that's the end of mission of Metal Slug 1. Okay, next game, Metal Slug 2. This game, a lot of things improved. First of all, you notice that there are 4 playable characters instead of 2. 2 female characters were added. And also there's a new gun, which is a laser gun. It actually does quite a bit of damage. It's probably second best gun in the game. And in Metal Slug 1, the shotgun was the best, and now that's no longer the case because the flame shot, which used to only do 4 damage in Metal Slug 1, now does up to 40. And the shotgun only does 20. Also, the damage of the rocket launcher was reduced since in Metal Slug 2, and the heavy machine gun does a bit less damage too. There's new slugs, the overall gameplay is improved, it looks nice, you know, it's all good. I think Sukimos is gonna be picking a different character for each of these games, so hopefully we will see your waifu. So he left that one guy there on purpose because if he's still alive, then the helicopters will spawn in from the left side of the screen instead of the right side, which is what he wants. So this is the boss of mission 1, and you want to shoot at its wings because that's the weak point. You can save a lot of time and ammo by just doing that.
Don't worry, Panda Squirt. I'm gonna pick Theo at Metal Slug 3, and I'm gonna pick Eri at Metal Slug 5.
You should play Eri all the time. That's my opinion.
No. It's not good at speedrun at Metal Slug 2 and X.
Yeah. Okay, so this is mission 2. We're introduced to a new enemy, which is the mummy. They're very slow moving, they don't shoot, but if you get hit by their poison breath attack, I suppose, then you get turned into a mummy. When you're a mummy, you move really slowly, you jump really slowly, you can only use your pistol and only use normal bombs, which is pretty bad. And that's the new flame shot, so it has a much bigger hitbox, it does a lot more damage. And yeah, this is the best game in this best gun in the game, sorry. So from now on, we're gonna be trying to get flame shot if possible, and bombs to use on the boss. Oh nice! Oh no, what?
So that's a pixel perfect jump.
And then
I can't.
jumped off. What?
I can't just go to the third layer by only one jump at the first layer, but it's pixel perfect, so it's really hard. If that succeeds, I can save 3 seconds, but I failed.
There's a few pixel perfect jumps in this game. That was one of them. Hopefully I'll get the next one. The next one's a lot harder and it's a lot more punishing if you miss. So here we're introduced to a new slug. It's called the Slugnoid. It jumps up and then has 2 Vulcan weapons. There is a way to glitch out this boss by making it unable to basically attack you, but it's not worth doing on normal difficulty, which is what we're playing on. level 4 means normal. And the reason for that is because if you do that setup, the death animation is increased, so it takes longer to die basically. So, and it's not worth it because we have a lot of flame shot. Flame shot is so strong that we don't even need any bombs for the for that boss. For mission 3, there's not too much to explain. It's like you're just traveling across the train to get to the boss at the end. So you saw there, if he shot the tanks using his guns, and the guy popped out the hatch, and then after the guy died, he got the bomb drop. So that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, right?
Yeah, in mission Metal Slug 1.
Yeah, in Metal Slug 1. If you use grenades or rocket launcher, then it blows it straight away. That looks really close, but I don't think it's that close because he gets it every time. Big jump, I mean.
That saves a lot of time because by jumping at that timing, I can spawn the next 3 Bazooka Soldier from the sky more earlier. So that can actually save like 5 seconds. That jump can save.
So this is the Slug Flyer. It's obviously a plane. Earlier when he got that bomb dropped, he made sure that he picked it up as a human by pressing down on the ground. And that's important because he wants to get as many grenades as possible for this next bit. So here it's basically you use the missiles and shoot as much as required, depending on your grenade count, and then you dismount by crashing the slug, and then just emptying your bombs, and that's it. That's the end of mission 3. So for mission 4, we're introduced to a new mechanic. It's called the Fat Player. If you eat 10 pieces of food, then you become fat, which is actually not good because when you're fat, your hitbox size increased, making you easier to hit. You're slower, which is obviously going to make you easier to hit, and I think that's it. But the thing is, it increases the size of your weapon's hitbox too, but it doesn't do any extra damage. So you're trading off a lot of negatives just for an increase in your hitbox, which actually isn't, it doesn't mean too much because you don't really need to have a huge hitbox in weapons anyway. So when he was passing through that segment there, he wanted to make sure that he was jumping through as much food as he could so he didn't get fat. This part is literally just run through all these enemies because Metal Slug 2 is a good game. So he doesn't have that many bombs, but he can use his slug to do the rest of the damage using the cannon and the gun. Eat too much and become fat. Pretty much. Nothing good for you if you get fat. Alright, this mission 5 is coming up, which is really difficult, so I'll just shut up for a bit. Alright, now that's over. So that was a lot of enemies in a very short amount of time and it's very, I guess, scripted in terms of what he had to do to not die. And also I'll explain another mechanic which he used there to get rid of those helicopters. In Metal Slug 1 and 2, the grenades do 10 damage and the splash also does 10 damage. So you can shoot the helicopter by aiming at the lower one and then making the splash of the smoke go up into the top one, and you can kill both of them at the same time. This was changed in Metal Slug 3, but it remains the same in 2
X.
and 1.
2 and 1
And
X.
as well. Yeah. So here you see that he's crouching, like, you know, every now and then while using the laser. That's to save ammo, because the thing about laser is that when you fire it, it actually does damage even after you've let go of the key. So you can get a bit more out of the weapon's ammo by just doing that.
Actually, there was a Decoca skip.
Yeah, there was one of those little yellow tanks on the left that he despawns by moving the screen. So that was an intended death, so that he can get more bombs to make this section faster. Right, so now we're gonna see something called lever cancel, which basically you crank the lever or lever by pressing shoot, and then when you've turned it about a quarter of the way, you press down to cancel it, and that will go the entire way, even though you cancel the animation. Also, the small benefit that I mentioned earlier that some characters have is that males crank faster than females for some reason. So if you're planning to run Metal Slug 2 or X because it's the same, then you should play a male character, which is unfortunate. Because I like my Eri.
Well,
Here we're gonna use the same. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Well, most of the people plays Metal Slug likes Eri or Theo, yeah.
I don't know why everyone likes Spears so much. Even when I was like 10, I liked Eri. Like me and my brother would always fight over who would get Eri. Because you can only have one character. So then, sorry, I was just mumbling about random crap. But we saw him use the same strat as we did in Metal Slug 1, where you crouch and then shoot your bombs. And that's pretty much it. He has shotgun as well. I mean, it's a pretty quick kill. Does the laser gun have high DPS? Yeah, it is one of the strongest guns in the game.
Ah,
This section, oh no, this one is really hard.
actually I should have thrown the bomb earlier, but I failed.
Right, this wavy bridge part is actually pretty hard, but if you know when to like approach it from, and when to start climbing, then it's not that bad. Also here we see Alan O'Neill again. He's pretty much in almost every Metal Slug game. The strat for Metal Slug 2 is literally just blow them up with bombs because you have so many. Although in X and in the other Metal Slugs, you normally use knife or use a gun or a combination of both. So this tank right here is called
Bradley.
Bradley. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. And he's pretty random because he can just stand there like he did, or move backwards or forwards, which is pretty annoying.
If it moves forward, then I have to die.
Yeah, because you'll get crushed. I think you got the despawns, because you can actually despawn 2 of the tanks that appear by moving the screen. And you'll see a lot of that too, here. So if you were quick enough to notice that on the left of the screen there were 2 aliens that are about to jump into the screen, but if you move the screen away from them so that they're out of the screen, and then move it back, it completely despawns them, and we'll use that a lot.
Ah, damn it.
Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Well, at least you got a shotgun this time. Once you see I report the critical. Well, actually, it doesn't actually matter, because we do use quite a bit of death abuse to refill bombs, depending on the game. Sometimes it's just simply faster to just kill yourself for the bombs rather than to just shoot it with a pistol or something. So this section is pretty straightforward. You just need to memorize where the enemies come and to knife them. If you would still have the shotgun and you'll want to save as much ammo as you can for the boss. Also, it's important to note that when you kill the aliens in the air, their corpses disappear a lot quicker, and you can't progress, or the next wave of enemies won't come if there are still aliens, and then the corpses still count if they're still on the screen. So he's jumping there again to despawn some aliens, and now we move on to the boss. So what you're supposed to do here is basically use up all your shotgun and bombs on the boss. It's a two-phase boss, but he died earlier, so he lost about, what, 60 bombs. So it's gonna be a bit slower. You actually notice that he's cancelling his shotgun as well by crouching. It saves a tiny bit of time, but I guess it's worth doing. There's quite a lot of cancels like that. There's knife cancel, there's different ways of cancelling your gun, there's different ways of cancelling your grenades. Lots of animation cancelling in this game. So this is phase 2. Those dark colored aliens do have a lot more HP than the light colored ones, so he needs to, and they are a lot more threatening too. So he needs to make sure that he takes them out and try and farm some drops. If you manage to do 350 damage to the main boss, then the game gives you a metal slug, which is pretty neat. But yeah, he's kind of cornered there. And that's Metal Slug 2. So Metal Slug X is the next game, and this is basically a remake of Metal Slug 2. It was mostly done because they wanted to fix issues with a lot of glitches and lag. All the maps are about the same. There are a few differences in the enemies. You'll notice here that it's nighttime in this first mission instead of daytime. But there are also a lot of cool additions, like a couple new guns, like the enemy chaser, which we'll see in a bit. Drop shot, which is the worst gun in the game. Never use it. Super grenade, which is one of my favorites, as well as a new type of bomb, which is the stone, and we'll see that a couple times this run. So this is the enemy chaser. It's a homing missile type of gun. It's pretty great. And also there's a couple new metal slugs. Even though it's remake, it's the game is different enough to be enjoyable. Like both 2 and X, you can enjoy both of them. So that's the end of mission 1. Alright, so I'm gonna explain something which I probably should have done a bit earlier, and that's there's a glitch you can use with slugs in Metal Slug X. If you mount a slug, and then pick up a gun drop, and then dismount the slug, either from just getting out of it or by crashing the slug, and if you hold down crouch, then you'll become invulnerable. And this is used, as you may have seen there in Mission 1. It's used in the boss of Mission 2 as well, and it's used in Mission 5 as well. Although its use in Mission 5 is a bit different, and I'll explain that when we get there. So this mission is pretty much the same, except that there's the addition of mommy dogs, and also here you can see the super guns. So basically, super guns or big guns. So now he has a big shotgun. They don't have any difference in damage. They do the same amount of damage, but their hitbox is greatly increased. Also, if you pick up a shotgun while it's in super form, then you only get half the amount of ammo. I suppose it'd be 2 OP if you got the full amount. Alright, so here we're at the boss again. This time we are going to use the slug, because we want to abuse that glitch. So he goes down like that after picking up the gun, and then he crashes the slug, and now he's immune. If you tried to do that without using the glitch, you would pretty much just die. Right, mission 3. This is pretty much the same as the previous mission 3 in Metal Slug 2. There's not too much to explain.
Just watch. Knife. Knife again. 1, 2.
So there we get the new bomb type in this game, which is a stone, and then he instantly changes back to normal grenade. But we'll be seeing stone later on and actually seeing it being used, so don't worry. So this is the mid boss of this mission, which we saw in mission 2. It's the same strat though, you just attack with both wings and then it takes a lot more damage.
Well, I wasted 2 bombs, but it is okay. I only need 1 bomb here.
So here we see a new slug. It's called the Metal Slug R version, or otherwise known as the Gold Slug. It has a lot more movement speed. It has a higher jump. It's pretty alright, solid slug. But the strat for the boss is basically the same. Just wait until he loads into the forefront, and then just use cannons, and then crash the slug. And that's it.
Mission complete. Mission 4.
Alright, mission 4. This is slightly different to mission 4 in Metal Slug 2, but not so much that it makes a huge difference. That was awful. Okay, so anyway, this house, that drop that you get from the house is always random. It's the same in Metal Slug 2. So you got bombs there, which is pretty nice.
Now you can
There
see
is
another stone here.
Yeah. So the thing about grenades in Metal Slug X is that when you're moving forward and you throw a grenade, it actually has more momentum. And when you have a stone, it has even more momentum on top of that. So you can use a stone to hit those UFOs like that, which you normally couldn't have done if you had just a normal
Ah.
grenade. Oh,
That's
lucky.
an RNG, so if I have bad luck, I just have to die. Or I can just walk, but it's too slow, so I just jump.
Yeah, you'll notice they got rid of all the bugged out like trucks and tanks and stuff that you were jumping over in Metal Slug 2. But that's fine because you have 28 flame shots, which is OP.
Mission complete.
Mission 5 for Metal Slug X is also very difficult, so I'll be quiet again.
Mission.
Alright, so that part was pretty self-explanatory, except for I mentioned earlier about the slug glitch and how it was going to be used in Mission 5 of this game. And at the very start, before he gets into the slug, you have to blow up a truck that has a lot of food in it. And I mentioned earlier that if you eat 10 pieces of food, then you'll instantly become a fat player. But if you use that glitch with the slug, if you get into the slug and then pick up a gun, if you have eaten any food, you won't become a fat player when you get out on the tank, where normally you would. So you may have noticed that he got on top of the car, shot downwards so that the car would shoot upwards, and then there was a heavy machine gun at the top of the screen. So that was the gun pickup. Then he crashes the slug, which allows him to emerge as a normal player instead of a fat player. If you were a fat player in that segment, then it would be very difficult to survive simply because of the movement speed. This tunnel segment is pretty much the same. Just use your lasers and bombs to get rid of the helicopters as well as the trains.
Rocket launcher.
So that was an intended death, so they can pick up more bombs and that super grenade. And same with the laser cancel in mission Metal Slug 2, we use that here for the super grenade. More level canceling.
Lane shot.
So he's gonna use this slug for safety, he's just gonna put it to the left. And then crash eventually. But this boss is pretty straightforward, you're just gonna shoot your bombs and then flame shot.
Ah, that's not good. My pattern isn't good.
Well, that was close.
Normally I can do 5-5 cut at this boss, and maximum I can do 5-6 cut, but today I lost 3 seconds at here. At next mission I'm gonna do another perfect pixel perfect jump. I hope it would work. But it didn't work, sorry.
It's really tough, but it saves quite a bit of time. It saves 3 seconds again. So here we'll see Alan and Neil again. And unlike Metal Slug 2, we don't have enough bombs, so he's gonna use knife canceling. I mentioned in Metal Slug 1, the way to cancel knives is to jump and land. But in Metal Slug 2 and X, the way to do it is to... there's two ways. One is to move forward and backwards and knife while using the moving to cancel the animation. And two is to crouch and to stand back up. So you can use both of those methods together to get a quick cancel of the knife. We have Bradley here again. This section is more or less the same as in Metal Slug 2. There's a lot of aliens you gotta kill, some that you can despawn. You wanna save as many bombs as you can.
Flame shot.
Those white ones are a lot more dangerous than the grey ones, so you have to be a bit more careful. And again, he wants to make sure that he tries to kill them while they're in the air, so the next wave of aliens come out quicker. Alright, that was really good. So now he's at the boss. It's more or less the same boss, still 2 phases. Hopefully it'll be a lot quicker this time because he still has his...
Yeah, I saved all of the bombs and flame shot I can.
Yep.
Nice. This
So
Metal
now
Slug
you'll
gets
see-
X.
Yep. I think I'm not 100% sure about X, but I want to take a guess and say that it came out on 2000 or 2001 because I know 3 came out in 2003, and 1 was 1999. So that was the end of phase 1. A lot more straightforward this time, since he has his gun. So hopefully he can get a good drop from these aliens. If not, it's not a huge deal because he can just use his grenades.
Hot.
In Metal Slug 2, the Metal Slug that you get is more of a backup strat. But for X, you kind of have to use it because you don't have enough bombs or ammo to take out this boss without it. And he's getting pretty unlucky with these drops. But that's the end of Metal Slug X.
Now you guys can see one of your waifu.
So this is Metal Slug 3. This is probably the best, I would say the best, Metal Slug in the series. The reason for that is because it's the longest game out of the series in the series. It introduces a lot of different mechanics, a lot of different enemies, a lot of different missions, a lot of different slugs. It's just an overall like well-made game basically. I personally run this game. It's really good. So here we try to use the splash from the super grenade to take out the locusts as well as the crabs. I think the direct hit from the super grenade does 10 damage and the splash does 5.
Whoa!
Oh my
I
goodness,
can't
that was
believe
so
that
close.
that didn't die.
I don't know how you survive. So here, there are going to be 2 crabs spawning, and which direction they come from depend on your positioning. The first one that spawns on the opposite of side of the screen that you're currently on, and the second one spawns on the same side. So you can predict which way they come out from, and avoid the drop shot, which is terrible. Here, you just want to use all your bombs from the Slugnoid and just shoot it, then crash, and then that's real.
Made a mistake.
Yeah, he's so low as well. Yeah.
Mission.
Still, this is pretty decent time. That was good.
Yeah.
Mission 2. Start.
Alright, mission 2. Here we get introduced to zombies. So like the mummies in Metal Slug 2 and X, if you get hit by them, you turn into a zombie. When you get turned into a zombie, you move really slowly, probably slower than a mummy. And you can't take any power guns. Oh, that was close. But you become immune to rebel attacks. So the only things that can kill you is other zombies. And oh my goodness, that was so close. The grenade attack for zombies is a huge screen wide. You basically vomit up blood, and it has a damage potential of 600, which is insane. And also zombies die in one hit from any fire attack, so including flame shot. And because the zombie vomit is so OP, we're going to use it here for this boss. So he makes sure that he kills those 2 at the back, and then he kills the one at the front, while making sure that he gets hit by attack. So he only needs to have 5 bombs. So let's see what pattern he got. Okay, he didn't get a good pattern.
Oh,
That's not good. Normally, the best pattern to get is you shoot once, and then the zombies spread out in a circle, and then you can just pretty much shoot again. Well, you can bomb again without having to move, and then it gets rid of all the mono eyes, which is what these things are called. And then for the second phase, you would reposition yourself, and then there are a few like safe spots that you can stand where the obelisks that fall from the sky don't actually crush you. And then you stand in one of the safe spots, and then you bomb 3 times with a zombie. And if you bomb in the correct position at the correct time, you can use only 3 bombs to take out this boss. This boss can take a maximum of 134 damage. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it because it's pretty sick, but that wasn't too bad. It could be a lot worse.
if I turn into zombie at if I die there, then that would take almost 20 seconds total run.
Alright, so this is mission 3. It's I think it's. I guess it's the first time that we see underwater movement. There are a few things to note. There are like to do with movement and speed. So here he gets the heavy machine gun and then he talks to the prisoner and then he moves forward. But before he does that, he makes sure that he goes as close to the ground as possible. And the reason for that is you want to have as much distance between those tanks that fall down, and you want to make sure that you're already moving. You don't want to adjust your height as you're swimming through the water because that'll slow you down. So that's how he got past that wall of tanks that came down and without getting crushed. So pretty much the point of this mission is you need to save as many bombs as you can because the boss has a lot of HP and you need to use the bombs and a laser gun to kill him. And this is a new slug. It's the ostrich slug. It's pretty cool. Jumps pretty high.
Its speed is the best overall all of the slugs.
So here you get a big laser gun as well as bombs. So you should have around 40 bombs by the time you enter into here. So this is Jupiter King. He has 650 HP, more or less. So you just want to shoot and bomb. The only thing you need to be careful of is those missiles that he shoots out. Some of them, it's random, but some of them can be like glowing blue. And those ones are ones that drop, like they can drop bombs if you're lucky, or they can drop like a rocket launcher if you're unlucky.
Oh.
So you want to try and avoid those if unlucky. Yeah, so close to dying too. But pretty much if you have the whole 200 laser ammo and around 40 bombs, you can just pretty much kill him with a few bombs to spare.
Mission 4, start.
The mission 4, this one is alright at the start, but then the end is horrible. So he picked up a rocket launcher there, and he's gonna try and keep it for the entire mission, up right until the just before the boss. I'll explain more in detail about the build when we get there. So he makes sure that he only talks to that prisoner there because the other one gives him a heavy machine gun, so he only wants the bombs. You can use bombs pretty freely here because the boss, Solde Rocker, doesn't you can't hit him with bombs, which is one reason why he's so ass.
Yeah, it's us.
Yep, it's pretty bad. So here we get introduced to a new enemy. It's Manny the Plants. They eat you. So that prisoner there will give you a flame shot, but since he's going to be using this new build, he's going to be skipping it. Flame shot is the better gun, but because we can save a bit of time by using it on this next section here. Ooh, that's close. Because rocket launcher has a lot of splash damage, you can kill these in a few hits because they comp up really easily. Normally you would take the old build would be to take a enemy chaser there and just spam it, but it's quite slow. So this build was developed by a guy called Oyasumi552, who's another Korean Metal-Slug player, and Sukimos has been using his build. So here we got a flame shot, and you pretty much use your bombs and, well, hopefully just your bombs, but you know, if you want to be a bit safe, you can use flame shot on the locusts. But you want to use up all your bombs before you get to here because this guy, he can't be hit by bombs. He's really bad. If you were to die and lose your 1cc clear in Metal Slug 3, this would probably be the reason why. So he has multiple patterns. One, he has the red one, which is not too bad. You lose a tiny bit of time because you can't hit him. Oh, that's unlucky. But he also has this attack, which loses you a lot of time. And he also has one where he just he shoots these, I guess, ghost dogs that just fly around and crash on the ground, which is the best pattern because, yeah, this one, because you can just shoot and then jump to avoid the attack. And the worst one is when he does that red attack, but it's orange this time, and they fly out in random directions, like very random, unlike the red one which just shoots down. So that wasn't too bad. He died once or twice, but you know, it's kind of expected.
Mission complete.
This is pretty normal time when you have bad patterns like yellow one when it is red. When the boss is red, I mean.
Yeah. When he takes when he's closer to dying, he turns red, and then the speed at which the red and yellow projectiles increases, so it makes it harder to dodge. So here is mission 5. We're introduced to the helicopter slug. I don't remember what the official name for it is, but it's a helicopter and it's a metal slug. So there you go. This whole first section of the mission is going to be a auto scroller. Also, this game is about half an hour long, even for speedrunning, and we're already at the final mission. So, you know, this last mission is very, very long. So here he's gonna try and save as much heavy machine as he can, so he can use it later in a. So after he takes out these tanks that are on the trucks, he's going to explode or crash the slug. The reason you do that is because if you kill this helicopter here while you're in human form, you'll get a bomb pack, like now. But if you kill it while you're in the helicopter, you'll only get a teddy bear, which is not great. So now he got another heavy machine gun, and he's going to take out this helicopter here. Even though this is an auto scroll, you want to try and take out the objectives as quickly as possible so you can move on to the next one. You want to try and avoid this rocket launcher because the problem with rocket launcher is that it does a lot of damage, but you can only have 2 on screen at one time. But killing the last one there destroys all of them, so it gives a bit more room to breathe. Take out that Bradley, and then this one comes down here. And then destroying him gets another bomb pack. If you were to go with a rocket launcher earlier, you would have to use a bomb by standing under that one. So you can save a bomb there. There is a way to do a quick kill on this boss, on mid boss, which involves doing a little bit of damage to that truck you saw earlier there, which was holding your helicopter slug, and then trying to destroy it as the plane is moving down onto it, which will give you a lot of splash damage and put Alan O'Neill on 1 HP. Also, there's a safety spot which Sukimos missed, but it's not a big deal because he didn't die, most importantly, and he didn't lose that much time. There's a spot pretty much just under the timer in the middle, top middle of the screen, where you can stand or stay with your helicopter, and then you won't take any damage from his hits. But you have to be in position way before he pops out. So this is Hideout again. We're gonna be using most of our bombs here, and all the builds that I used to run was just to save. Oh, that's not great. Oh dear. Yeah. So you want to just use up all your bombs because this guy, like you saw in Metal Slug 1, can waste you a lot of time. He can give you patterns like this one where you can't shoot him. And he has quite a lot of HP, so you just want to try and avoid that as much as possible. I think he still managed to use more than half his bombs before he died, so it's not a huge time loss, but you know, you obviously don't want to die to him there. So we discover that Morden is actually an alien and he's been kidnapped. And so now we go to space to rescue Fio. Who cares about Morden?
So Phil is gone, and you guys has to see Marco again, which is not your waifu. Actually, I wanted to just preserve 15 bombs to the spaceship part, but in this case, I'll have to die at this old scroll part to get 10 more bombs, I think.
So now we see a new slug. It's the Astro Slug. It's a spaceship. The cool thing about this is that when you get a new gun, it attaches itself to the ship as sidearms. And you really don't want to lose a slug in this space section. So those asteroids you can avoid by just going to the right of the screen. And then there are UFOs, which basically move to the center of the screen, so you can just stand there and shoot.
Well, in this part is pretty much much of auto scroll, so there is not that much to say.
Yeah. These white asteroids are a little bit RNG, but they also kind of move towards your last position, so you have to be careful not to take a hit. Taking one hit is not too bad, but you want to, if you take more than one, you're kind of screwed, because every time you take a hit in the Astro Slug, you lose a sidearm. And obviously if you take 2 hits, you'll lose both of them. But you got a gas there, so even if you had taken a hit, then you can recover. And blowing up those big rocks, I guess the big asteroids, will give you more guns as well. So here, both that wave and this wave give you shotgun, and he made sure that he killed them using his heavy machine gun so that he doesn't waste any shotguns. Also, as I mentioned, when you get a gun, you get 2 sidearms, but with the shotgun, if you shoot, it will alternate between left and right, and you don't want that. So we're intentionally gonna take damage to lose one sidearm, and then get a gas drop. So here we take damage to lose one, so now it's only on the right side, so that concentrates fire, and then this guy very fortunately gives you gas. So now he has to try and avoid these gun drops because he wants to keep his shotgun. So he's gonna wait a little bit until the other spaceship comes, and then so he can shoot both of them at the same time. That was good. Pretty lucky on the drops as well. So another phase is this. We've seen this like 3 times now. And all we have to do is just shotgun and missiles. Oh, he's gonna save it. Okay. So we finished with that auto scroller, and now we have another one, which is just as long. So these waves don't shoot at you. You can shoot them to make the next ones become faster, depending on your ammo count. But you know they don't shoot, so you don't have to shoot them back. These ones do. This whole part is just memorizing when enemies appear and from which direction they appear. There again, he made sure if you have any ammo remaining in your clip, even just one, and you pick up the same gun, you'll only get, I think it's a half or 2/3 of the ammo count. So there, for heavy machine gun, it's 150. So if he made sure that he emptied the clip before he picked up the heavy machine gun, so he got the full 200. I mean, it didn't matter too much in the end because he got the laser gun in the end, but it's something that you need to keep track of to maximize your ammo. So laser gun does a lot more damage than rocket launcher, and there are barriers that are coming down from the top of the screen. But you know the laser gun just wrecks them. And also you don't really want to get rocket launcher here in this segment because it creates a lot of lag.
In Steam version, both laser and rocket launcher do the lag, so I just pick laser.
Yeah, it does more damage anyway. So there he, like he said earlier, he died on purpose so they can get more bombs. You would crash the slug anyway, but not as soon as you did, because you would get these double heavy machine gun drops, and that will help you through the first part of the when you get inside the spaceship. So that's the end of the auto scroller. And here these I forgot the name, but I'm just gonna call them Robo Brains. That's pretty much what they are. After he kills that one, he jumps back and then jumps forward again, and that despawns one that was supposed to appear behind him. So it saves a bit of time having to kill it. And here he's gonna do a more despawning by moving the screen. So there's supposed to be aliens that come from the left of the screen, which don't come out anymore because you can just get rid of them.
So these guys are called ring laser mecha.
Okay, well that's the name. Not Robo Brains. I think Robo Brains sounds cooler, but whatever. So everything apart from that one takes 2 flame shots, and that one took 3. This guy gives you a bomb drop. But you have to wait a bit for him. It's probably still worth it because of, you know, bombs are so precious. You may see Morton getting tortured. Alright, you gotta chase the drop. Those guys always drop a gun. You can either get drop shot, heavy, enemy chaser, or laser gun. Oh, he failed to skip. So if he stands there in that exact location and moves and jumps to the left of the screen, you can despawn that enemy. You can also despawn this ring. What do you say? What's
Ring
called?
laser mecha. Ring laser mecha.
Yeah, but you want to get the
Yeah, I want to preserve the bombs to the Clone
yeah.
War part.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the mobile satellite is that it actually stops the ant thing from moving. It actually pushes it, so it can't move forward as much as it normally does. And when it moves around a lot, those orbs that come out of its come out from the bottom, like they're a lot easier, they're a lot harder to avoid. Alright, he took a bit safe there. So this is fake route Mars. It's supposed to look like the end of the mission.
But it's not.
Remember guys, this is still mission 5. Or is it? Yeah, mission 5. We started it with that air section. So he got a laser gun, which is really lucky. And it just destroys fake route Mars for some reason. It just does so much damage.
If I just have heavy machine gun, then that would be 5-7 cut. And if I turn into pistol when I'm using heavy machine gun, it would be 5-5 cut.
So here we see what they did to Fear. They make clones out of her. Also, every time you kill a clone, they drop eggs. The eggs don't have any score value. They actually, like you said, like you see that it has 0, but it makes you fat. You don't want to do that. Here he gets out of the slug because if you in the slug while you kill these, they have I think it's double. They have 80 HP. But if you kill them while you're outside the slug, they oh nice, you got a double shotgun. If you kill them while you're outside the slug, they have less damage, less HP, and they also give you gun drops, as opposed to if you're in the tank, they'll give you gas. So you make sure that you kill those. I think it was the first 4 or first 5.
First
While
6,
in
first
human
6 ring laser mecha. So except
Six?
except the last one, I just killed by human state.
Yeah. Basically everything except for the last one he killed while he was a human. And since he got the shotgun, which is a very lucky drop, and this will hopefully make things a bit faster for this next section, he skipped that big flame shot, which is your backup. So he wants to time his shots and then use bombs so that he's in front of the cocoon. Getting the big shotgun there in the previous shotgun is really big because if you get a flame shot, which is your backup, it only does 6 or 7 damage to the cocoon, where normally the flame shot would do around 30. For some reason, it does less damage. So if you don't have, you're better off getting a heavy machine gun, which is pretty much the same thing. As you saw, those clone Theos do drop lots of heavy machine gun. So here, since he has the shotgun, he's gonna try and make every shot count to blow up those locks and do crazy things like just one-shotting those zombies. Oh yeah, they turn into zombies. Who knew? So here we see a bit of knife cancelling in Metal Slug 3. Knife canceling Metal Slug 3 is again different to 2x and 1. The way to cancel knives in Metal Slug 3 is to literally just crouch and then toggle between left and right while just shooting. So there you saw he picked up a flame shot and he's gonna try and use that. He's gonna try and preserve that for the rest of the game. Don't ever get drop shots. It's just not worth it. So he flies over the first one, then he destroys the next two. Then he shoots the locks once, and then shoots as he's coming towards them. Then shoots up once, and then crashes the slug, and that destroys all of the locks, and then also for some reason destroys the other zombies in the room. So we're coming up to the final boss, which is Root Mars, non-fake version this time. He has 1400 HP, fitting for a last boss, and Sukimos is gonna use up all his bombs and all of his flame shot. Flame shot does a lot of damage to Root Mars, so it's very important to keep it. Also, you can use a safe spot that he's standing in right now. If you're standing and that brainwave attack hits you, you won't get damage, but if you're crouching, you die. Oh, that's really unlucky. So now that he has a heavy machine gun, it's actually better to just do knife canceling because you can actually do more damage. And death abusing is, not a bad idea either because of the bombs you get. And he wants to try and shoot down those red glowing orbs because those are the ones that give you drops. Normally what you would do is just make sure that you can use up all your flame shot and all your ammo, all your bombs by jumping in and out of the slug. So that's the end of Metal Slug 3. Next is Metal Slug 4. So Metal Slug 4, there weren't as many changes as between X and 3, but there are two new characters, Nadia and Trevor. Sukimos is going to use Nadia because, strangely enough, Nadia actually does have a benefit. Her knife attack, what did you say? It like does more damage or something?
Its knife attack can give a damage to the machinery things.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does. Yeah. On the other hand, funnily enough, Trevor has a delayed knife, so you definitely don't want to use him. And this is a new gun that was introduced in Metal Slug 4. It's the dual machine gun. Oh, he wasn't supposed to get the heavy machine gun there. But dual machine gun does 2 damage per ammo, as opposed to the 1 of the heavy machine gun, so it actually is much better. So another new thing about Metal Slug 4 is that there's a new, player state, which is being turned into a monkey. So the guys wearing the lab coats with the rifles, they can shoot you, and then you can turn into a monkey. When you're a monkey, you can jump pretty high. There's a railing above that you see those 2 prisoners strung up on that you can climb, and the default weapon of the monkey is a heavy machine gun. But its speed is so slow that we just don't use it in the run. Alright, now we come to the mission 1 boss, which is pretty straightforward. One thing you gotta do is just standing in that position and then using bombs makes it so that the bombs have a lasting effect. It kind of overlaps with each other and then it does more damage than it's supposed to. And here is just making sure you avoid all the other projectiles. And that's the end of mission 1.
Mission 2, start.
So there are a couple new slugs in Metal Slug 4. That is one of them. So with the Bradley, once you destroy it, or get rid of the guy inside, you can actually ride inside. But the thing about the Bradley, and there's one other one which I can't remember the name, but there are 2 slugs that you can take from the rebels. But oh yes, but those ones don't have as much HP. So I mentioned that in previous games, slugs have 3 HP, so you can hit 3 times. But slugs in Metal Slug 4, they have 4 HP. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing any use of those stolen slugs in this run. So this next section is a bit of an all scroller.
Another one is Meltiani.
Oh, is that the name? Multi Honey. Oh, that's a nice name. So there he just waited for the both of those tanks to group up for shooting them. So they take more damage. It's kind of a shame because after Metal Slug 3, which was such a good game, in as series-wise as well as just as a single game, Metal Slug 4 kind of doesn't really live up to the series. Like a lot of these levels and these enemies are kind of, they feel really rehashed. Like they've all appeared, like copy paste from other missions, other Metal Slug games. There's a new character. There's 2 new characters. There's a new gun, but like for me personally, it just feels like that's not enough. So here we see Alan O'Neill, apparently, and this is pretty much the same as the previous mission's boss. You just need to correctly time your jumps and your bombs, or in this case cannons. So there you can see that the slug has 4 HP, so it can still take another hit. Now he's gonna crash and then just empty his bombs, and then that should be the end. Exactly enough.
Oh, and I forgot the medal thing. In Metal Slug 4, you can collect some medals, and if you get the gray medal, then you can have medalish, which can earn like 30,000 maybe. Not 30,000, 300,000. Yeah, 300,000 score.
I never bothered to look into the combo system in Metal Slug 4 because I didn't really care about the score. I just wanted to do it fast. So this next section is well, it's pretty straightforward. You just work through it with your flame shot until you get to
The
this next bit.
boss.
Yeah, you basically just ride this bit until the boss. Yeah. So if it wasn't obvious enough, riding on the log is a lot faster than just running down. You just need to make sure you dodge the occasional hit, and you need to avoid that heavy machine gun at all costs. So here we see Morden, supposedly. And this boss's name is just the Iron, which I think is pretty cool. And that's it. That was quick.
Yep, quick kill.
Mission 4, start.
Alright, mission form. They basically just stole this from mission 3. It's a zombie mission. And here we get Mutant Slug. It's based off the mutants in Metal Slug 2 and X. You can jump pretty high, but it doesn't protect you from hits, so it's alright. It's fun to use this. Still a new Slug. You take the top path. Also, I guess I failed to mention during Metal Slug 3, but there's a lot of different paths you can take, and Suki just took the ones that were the fastest. Unfortunately, in Metal Slug 4, I think this mission here is the only one, as well as mission 1. 1 and 4 is the only ones that have branching paths, which I think takes a lot of the enjoyment out of the game. There's a lot less to do. Non-slugs, all, I don't know. So there he had to wait, he had to make sure that that guy died, otherwise the screen wouldn't progress. And he had to move away from the screen as soon as possible, otherwise another one would come. So he jumped out of the screen as soon as it landed on the ground. So here, this boss is a little bit random. That arm he shoots out, it shot a laser at him first, as you saw, but it can either shoot a laser or just crash to the ground. And he needs to react to both of those. Apart from that, it's pretty simple. You just use your flame shot to just wreck it. But if you don't have a flame shot and you get turned into a zombie by those little balls that fly out, the boss itself is actually strong against zombie vomit, which is very interesting. So you have to make sure that you can keep your flame shot there. Alright, this is the next mission. It's like a ship phase.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness. That was like perfectly timed by that guy. Holy crap. Okay, there's a tank skip here soon.
Yep.
This is another Ola scroll, so skipping as much as you can is really important. Right here is another section. So after he destroys this tank, and then he's gonna take an intended death, so he gets more bombs. Yeah, I guess you got a heavy machine gun from that too because of the continuing thing. Normally you just get off with bombs. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in Metal Slug 2 and X, the splash damage of the grenades is the same as the impact damage, but that was changed from Metal Slug 3. So after Metal Slug 3, the grenade splash damage is like 0.1 or something. So it's still okay to kill the like the trash mobs, like the soldiers and all that, but it doesn't do anything to those helicopters that you saw. But the first one just got blown up instantly by 3 bombers, but then the one on top didn't take that much damage. So here there's a lot of RNG with the missiles. Like with Jupiter King in Metal Slug 3, you can fire blue ones, which can give you drops. Actually, he wants to get the Ag drop because if he gets the rocket launcher, he can destroy this a lot quicker. But no drops, so now we can see this phase, which is very slow.
This will die at 1 hit.
Yeah.
So that thing is also invincible when it goes to the sea. So, killing it at one cycle is pretty important for this game's speedrun. What I felt.
Yep. This is the final mission. It's pretty long, but not as long as Metal Slug 3's final mission. Yeah, he wants to either get a rocket launcher or an enemy chaser and try to avoid shotguns because, as you can see, rocket launcher you just shoot both sides and the enemies are dead. But if you happen to get a shotgun, there's a lot of delay in between shots and the range isn't as good. Apart from that, this place is pretty self-explanatory. So the story of Metal Slug 4 is that I mentioned that we saw Alan O'Neill a couple times and we saw Morden a couple times, but it turns out that they weren't actually the ones behind this attack or whatever it is, and it's actually a guy called Amadeus,
Yep.
who has been making these machines. So all the rebel soldiers that we thought were from Morden were actually from Amadeus, and now we're like busting into his factory or whatever to like take him out. As far as this mission goes, gameplay wise, it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to keep as many bombs and get a laser gun pickup at the end, because the boss is a 3-phase fight. So here we get a Metal Slug and we use this for this segment here. We'll be crashing at the end, so taking a few hits doesn't matter that much, but... Remember, he's holding a laser gun right now, so he wants to avoid all gun pickups. So that is the mechanical Morden, I suppose, and they need to take 3 hits before they actually get destroyed. Once in the normal form like this, and then once when they're in the mechanical form, and then the heads fall off and you go shoot the heads. So he's gonna use the Slug Crash to get rid of all 3 at once. Now we save this guy, this prisoner here, and then we don't want the other 2 on the side, we just want this guy because he gives you fire bombs and
billet.
ammo creep. Yep. And this looks familiar because it's O'Neill again. What a surprise.
Ooh.
Oh, that was so close. That was... Alright, that wasn't
Bad. That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. Normally he doesn't run at you like that, and he just stays on those 2 platforms, and then you can just mess with his AI, and you just jump up when he's on the ground, so he'll jump up with you, and then you can just jump down, or he'll jump down, and you just follow him, and you just shoot him with a laser gun. That's all you need to do. So now he has an ample amount of laser gun ammo and a lot of bombs, and like I mentioned, this is a 3-phase fight. That's 1 down. He used a bit more laser ammo than he wanted to on O'Neill, or mechanical O'Neill. So this second section will be a little bit slow, but it's better than dying. So he wants to try and get a good drop from these guys. Good enemy chaser, that's not too bad.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. That was alright. It was a bit close at the end there.
So actually, I should have the grenade to change my firebomb into grenade. Actually, in this game, the firebomb has, oh damn it, firebomb has 8 damage and the grenade has 10 damage. So by getting another grenade, I can deal more. But I failed.
Damage. Yeah, but I mean, now that he's lost it, he can just use Death Abuse to refill his grenades. Alright, that's the end of Metal Slug 4. So now we have one game remaining. It's Metal Slug 5. So this game is a bit different from the rest of the series. You'll notice that Eri and Theo are back. Eri and Tama are back because Theo was in Metal Slug 4. There is a new mechanic in Metal Slug 5. It's called sliding. If you crouch and then you press jump, you will slide along the ground. This didn't exist before Metal Slug 5, and it is used a few times during the speedrun, either to avoid attacks that would normally kill you even when you're crouching, or for movement, because jumping is the fastest, walking is probably the second fastest, well I'm not sure about that, but then sliding is obviously much faster than just crouch walking, so we use that if we need to get past a certain place where we would need to crouch, but we have the sliding ability, so that's great. Obviously the music is different, the story is also different. I didn't really explain too much about the story of the other series, but basically for 1, 2, X3, it was like Morden he gets captured at the end of the previous Metal Slug, but then he escapes and then he wants to attack the world again for his on his quest to achieve to rule the world or whatever. And then he just repeats that over and over again. The Metal Slug 4 is like, oh, it's Morden again, but it's not, because it's actually this guy called Amadeus pretending to be Morden to lure out these guys. And then 5 is like, it's kind of strange. There's I guess another military group. I forgot the name, but
The Ptolemaios.
Ptolemy, yeah, that's right. And then they steal this, I guess, magic disc, and then you'll see it in the cutscene, because this game actually has a cutscene at the end of mission 1. They steal this disc and they want to summon a demon so that the world will end, or they can destroy the world, something like that. And you can see sliding in action over there. These guys don't really attack you unless you let them. That's fine. Here he wants to move as quickly as possible without eating those food, so he wants to throw bombs just. Oh, that was unlucky. Yeah,
that was unlucky.
Yeah, he wants to throw the bombs just at the right time so that he doesn't get crushed, but unfortunately. So yeah, in this game, there are no new guns, but there are what do you call it? There's also no flame shot, which is very interesting, because all this time, from 2, X, 3, and 4, flame shot was still the best gun to have, and in this game there's literally no flame shot. Like, it's just not in the game. Like, if you were to go into like developer mode or debug mode, you can access the hidden files. You can use the flame shot, but that's not really intended. Also, there's no O'Neill, like mechanical otherwise. There's no Morden. So the entire story is not even based around the whole Metal Slug franchise kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of weird because they took a supernatural approach, I think. So here you can see the
cutscene.
Yep.
Now there comes a thunder. Ah! And they are trying to summon the demon.
Yep. But at least we get to see some Eri. Yeah. I think I'll be okay with that. Like this, I don't know. I don't really know if personally, for me, Metal Slug 4 is my least favorite game of the series, or Metal Slug 5, because as much as I don't really care about the plot, and I care more about the mechanics, like you're playing the game, and you want to be finding these bosses that are related to the, the plot. So, like Metal Slug 3 is definitely my favorite, and I think a lot of people will agree with me there.
Well, for me, I don't really care about the characters, but I actually use Marco a lot because it is the first character I can choose.
Yeah. So this player is another technically an old scroller. He wants to save that shotgun for as long as he possibly can, because he has a lot of heavy machine gun. So he wants to try and kill these using the heavy machine gun.
Or 8.
So doing small slides like that saves you a bit of time rather than having to jump, because it brings you closer to the ground. And here you have to just wait until all of these just pass, and like doesn't matter if you shoot. For that mission, for that missile there particularly, if you don't slide, then you die. So you either have to jump over it or you have to slide. Now you just skip all of these guys, don't do anything. That second crate always give you poop, which is I think is kind of interesting. Here you just gotta knife 3 times, and then bomb the last one so it progresses the screen a little bit faster. And here he's gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump, and then shotgun. More waiting. Right, so for this boss, this is the mission 2 boss. There is a quick kill involving a slug crash, but you need to get a good pattern with the little pellets that the boss shoots. So the quick kill involves taking damage, and then oh, you didn't get it. So basically, you want to take damage with your slug, and then at the right time you gotta crash your slug, and then if you succeed, it causes a glitch where the slug crash damage does 14 times the normal slug crash damage, and then it will one cycle the boss. But that wasn't too bad. Like the glitch is really random, and I don't think we figured out how to
Actually, that worked, but I didn't give a maximum. The maximum was 14, but I think that was maybe 7 or 8 times, I think.
Yeah. So now we see a new type of oh, I swear those guys with the grenades are like the most dangerous. You die to them the most.
That sometimes happens, sorry.
Yeah.
I should have more careful.
So here you want to jump and try to shoot the one coming out of the pipe, as well as the one crawling up those blocks. You can sync it so that you can kill both of them at the same time, and then that saves a cycle or 2. And here you want to jump on that, sliding, and then jump, and then go down, slide again, and then shoot. If you don't do that, there are 2 guys that jump at you with knives, and you can pretty easily die. So you need to be prepared for that setup before that. Then after you kill that one rebel armor, you can just run through. And here we see the new slug. So
Slug gunner.
if you remember at the end of mission Metal Slug 3 in the spaceship, when you rode, there was that Metal Slug that jumped, it had a double jump, and it would shoot. So this one is basically a better version of that. It can ride along like a tank, which is obviously faster. It has a melee attack, which does the same damage as a knife. He got out of attack there so that he can kill this two, because it's lock recall. Because this one doesn't have that good of a turn rate. And also the double jump, which we're going to use here to be a bit quicker. So one cannon destroys all three of those. You can afford to take a few hits here because he's just going to be Slug crashing anyway. So he moves back to get those guys, and then he jumps forward to spawn the next one, and then he Slug crashes the one. Slug crashes to kill the one behind him as well as the one in front of him. So this is the boss of this mission. He wants to get good RNG. After he fires these big bullets, he's gonna either go down and do a sonic wave, or he's gonna do a
Howling.
which, yeah, howling.
Today he gave me
was
howling. Good.
Yeah.
Nice
In
RNG
all
that
his
was.
practice, he was giving you like the other bad pattern where he just shoots little rockets. So the first part of this mission is pretty self-explanatory. And he wants to make sure that he kills that helicopter when it's near the middle of the screen, otherwise he won't be able to get that rocket launcher. Alright, that was good. If sometimes you mess it up, you won't make it into the slug in time and you will get hit. So this is the Slug Marina. This was actually released from Metal Slug 3, but we haven't seen it being used until 5. So here this prisoner gives him a pack of bombs which he wants to use in human form. And with these jellyfish he wants to kill them using human form because he can just use one, I guess, knife or fork stab to kill all 4 of them that comes out. It's a lot quicker. So here he just needs to destroy that one at the bottom and then go up in the slug crash. Because as I mentioned before, slug crashing damages everyone on the screen. So just one bomb for each of the rebel armors. A lot for this one because it's really dangerous. Okay, you didn't get crushed this time.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was good. So you can ignore all these prisons except for that one. He gives you a laser. And then you gotta wait for this guy to come up from the left and jump with him to kill him. Yeah, this part is a little difficult. You gotta jump, you can slide, and then knife. If you don't get that properly, you can get killed by the guys behind you. Now this is the boss. It's called a Sand Marine. So the prisoner on the left gives him a dual heavy machine gun, and then the prisoner on the right gives him bombs, which is good. So now he gave him a bad
Shittest
pattern.
pattern.
Yeah. You can
Oh
either just-
damn it!
Oh no. Depending on what he does, you need to move like he did now. And if you move, you have to take the heavy machine gun. So you don't get as much value out of the laser gun that you bring. The best pattern is just where you start off on the left, and then you just shoot these rockets, like these big rockets and little rockets. And all you need to do is move forward a little bit and then jump back, and then move forward a little bit and jump back. And you will destroy the rockets with your gun as well as just doing straight up damage. And you can go and pick up the dual heavy machine gun after you finished. So considering the RNG, like that wasn't too bad, but you definitely don't want to get that pattern like twice, which is what he did. So this is mission 5. There's another orange brawler, but we get introduced to the new Slug. It's called the Slug Mobile. It's a little car.
Mighty geometry slug.
You won't be able to use the Slug after this orange brawler ends, so you just wanna be liberal with your bombs. Like that, just spam out this one and it gets destroyed, and that's the end. This is a Mr. Bean episode. Yeah, he got a cameo in Mouse 5. Alright, here we're gonna see another slug. This is called the Organ Sturm. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But it only gets used for like 10-15 seconds. But it has a cool harpoon attack. So here he uses the harpoon, dismounts by just injecting and then getting the big shotgun. So now he needs to watch out very careful for his ammo.
Okay, sucks at it today.
Good. So now he has 11 shots remaining, and he just wants to knife these guys because he doesn't want to use any more shotgun ammo. You basically need to count out every single shot. So I think he missed one there, which isn't good.
Yeah. I missed it.
I think he can make up for it. So basically it's left, right, left, and then you just jump to this part and then you fire twice there. And the reason you need to count out your ammo is because, like I said during Mirror 3, if you have 0 ammo, then you can pick up a gun with a fully loaded clip of 30 rounds. And the reason why it's important is because we want to keep the shotgun all the way up to the boss. And by the end of the section here, he needs to have, I think, 21 or 22 rounds.
21 normally.
21.
But I think I'll have 20 today. I wasted one.
Yeah. So this is the final boss, or at least part 1 of the final boss. It's called the Mammoth Tower, obviously. There is a way to bug out this boss and get a quick kill. So when you just attack one side, and when the one side takes sufficient damage, I guess the nose gets longer. It's kind of dangerous because it can hit you and just kill you. But there is a strat where you can jump on top of the nose, and then shoot a bomb at the top. And once you do that, if you finish hitting it, then it will do that and it'll bug out. So you can just destroy one side and the other one will blow up. But it's kind of dangerous to do that. So what Sukimos does is just he waits for the lava to fall from the sky, and then he bombs that, and then uses the splash damage from the bomb hitting the lava to hit the top of the tower, and that will achieve the same effect. So here, this is the final boss of the series. This guy is called
Diamond.
Evil Spirit Incarnate, which is a really I don't know, it's an interesting name. You can just call him like the Reaper. He doesn't actually have that much HP considering he's the final boss, and considering this is the last old series, personally I think it's a bit of a disappointment because the boss isn't actually that hard to avoid either, as I say that. I mean, now he's just refreshing his bombs, but if you want to go fast, you can just and that's time.
Uh, 148.57.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, yesterday he actually got a PB on this marathon run. While during practice, and I think he got like 148, 147 something.
Yeah, 147.30. Actually,
Yeah,
in
so
my timer, I got 1:7:40:33 because I usually start my timer at the what is it? when I go to the next mission, I stop the timer. So maybe my timer and the marathon timer would be a little bit different. But actually, this run was only 3 seconds slower than my PB.
yeah. So that's Metal Slug old series, and yeah, like I said, Sukimos is pretty much the world record holder for everything that is Metal Slug related. He's been running this game for like 4 years now. He's really good. So, am I allowed to like give shoutouts and do like plugs?
Give all the shoutouts and plugs you want.
Alright, well, no one cares about me, I'm just a commentator, but Sukimos, you can go find him on YouTube. Go to his Twitch channel, he streams pretty regularly. He knows a lot. If you're interested in speedrunning Metal Slug, then join the Metal Slug Discord. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having us.
The Metal Slug Discord is the link is in my YouTube channel. So if you want to get in, come to my YouTube. Okay, so thanks for watching today. Actually, this run was pretty decent run. I can improve a lot in Mission, but also some other series. But yeah, pretty good run. Again, thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for commentating for Escrow.
No problem.
And I want to give a special thanks to my Korean Metal community because my strats, most of my strats are from that community, and thanks for the marathon steps also. Good marathon and finish well.
Sweet,
Alright.
thank you. So up next we have our finale, which is Jet Set Radio Future. So yeah.